Hello, and welcome to what I hope is a very interesting narrative experience. It is the 29th of October. It's a couple of days before Halloween. In fact, it's almost 20 past 11. This has just come out on Steam. Been out for a few hours, I believe, on PS4. There's people have been streaming it. And there's an awful lot of people currently playing Red Dead Redemption 2, which I have very little interest in. I've been very much waiting for this instead. Let us enter madness. Pierce Investigations Agency, Boston. 1924, Edward Pierce, veteran of the First World War, drowns his memories in liquor and sleeping pills. He is now a private detective who has trouble finding a case able to lift him from his torpor. Pierce must find a new case quickly, or risk losing his license. Good, it actually gives you a chance to read these things as well. Sometimes games do not do that. I am mad at his mercy. May the gods pity the man who in his callousness can remain sane to the hideous end. Howard Philip Lovecraft. Oh, lovely! Of course, this is how we start. Covered in fish and blood and whoa, shock! Ew. Oh, and we're straight in. Right. Two things first of all. I'm going to... That actually might be a little bit too sensitive. Yes, that actually is a little bit too sensitive for me. Let's down a notch. Better. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have some atmosphere. Yummy! Just want to get a feel, first of all, for how the game works. So E is interact, as it so often is. Crouch to toggle. No. Control to toggle crouch. English. Can you speak it? Already my mind. Those candles have been burning for quite some time. Counter darkness. You must light up some items in order to interact with them. Ah, so things that you can't see properly, can't properly interact with. When an object can be picked up... Hurricane lamp. I'm liking the fog and mist effect already. There's going to be a lot of that. Chances are... I put the controller down on my knee and it just went ape when that thing appeared. I don't know what it was. I'm assuming it was a shark, since it seems to be sharks that are... Now, keep in mind that this game is very much about suspense and things that are not... A lot of Lovecraft is about things that are glimpsed out of the corner of your eye, things that are not quite seen, and certainly if they are seen, they can't necessarily be understood. Oh, interesting. That looks a little bit like it's going to be an Alan Wake style mechanic, where you can use the light to do things, which is great because I actually really liked that. Although I didn't like the battery mechanic in Alan Wake. Now we can get through here. Just want to check before we continue. Yes, everything is maxed graphically, so this is as good as it's going to get. But that's fine. It is good. If there are jump scares in this, I will scream. I'm not very good with horror games, and I'm hoping this is more suspense. This soundtrack is creepy AF. This looks... No? Can't use it. This is not the kind of game that you... Ew. That you can just speed through. I mean, you could speed through it, but what would be the point? Point. Good word, putrid. Yeah, so you can actually use the lantern to get a better look at things. Although, right up close, obviously the light bloom is a little bit obnoxious. Just like what actually happens if you lift a lantern up to your face.
Don't fight. You have been chosen.
Whenever it tells you how to run, it makes me wonder if there's a reason why I should be running. To be honest, that's not much of a run.
Behold.
Oh, hi.
Everything has already been written.
You guys... What?
Perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
Dude, you've got a... Tentacle arms. Whoa. And wake up.
I hate whiskey.
New place discovered. Pierce Investigations Agency. Let's consult the diary. My private detective agency contracted to the Wentworth Detective Agency. After the Great War, I decided to set up in Boston where there is no lack of work for guys like me. One small-time case follows the other. Adultery, settled scores, disappearances that are not actually disappearances. The old office couch is less comfortable than a real bed, and I should probably get rid of these empty bottles. But this place is mine. For the moment. Okay, so we have a main case file. The doctor can well repeat to me that I no longer need my remedy to keep my memories at bay, but I know that if I stop, the memories will return. One of these mornings I probably won't wake up. Despite the treatment, I again hear voices in my dreams, but they are different, unknown. They seem to surface from unfathomable and ancient depths. What nameless creature is calling me? 20th of October 1924. From what little I know about the game, I believe Pierce, our main character, suffers from some kind of PTSD. This is his skill tree, based on the pen and paper game. Sanity! Edward Pierce is a vet of the First World War, where he took part in the Meuse-Argonne offensive. He was one of the few survivors of the Lost Battalion, American units that suffered heavy losses from enemy and Allied artillery fire. Forced to hold their position for several days, surrounded by the bodies of their fallen comrades without food or medical supplies, the soldiers were considered as lost by their fellow countrymen. Pierce is traumatized by these events. He consumes sleeping pills and liquor to ward off the nightmares that haunt. Currently, we are stable. I suspect that will not last long. And yeah, we can improve various things. Medicine and occult skills can only be improved by objects discovered in the environment. Strength is going to be forcing things. Eloquence is going to be talking people through things. Investigative talents. Finding hidden things, I will almost certainly put some points in it ASAP. I will probably play with these three first, because I like talking my way through situations. Don't have any information, no clues. And I have a lighter, which undoubtedly will prove of some use. And we can... probably easier to use with the... yeah.
I wonder why I still take these things.
Me too. But while the effect has been wearing off... bugs. Where's the radio? Turn that off. I've no idea how much of the music will be copyrighted. Ring, ring. Hello?
I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
Yes.
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
Uh-huh. Oh. It's a thinly veiled character creation screen. Motivation. Medical knowledge. Occultism. Yeah. An undiscovered object will not appear in the game. I could, depending on how well the system's done, I could probably do a lot of the psychology stuff without actually having to rely on the game. My knowledge of medicine, on the other hand, is, yes.
Information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
What are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
Nope. No, I am not.
I'm coming.
I want to look around the office.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
Snooty.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Nope.
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector.
Yes.
All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you
Nice.
come to me, it means you're
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool.
That is a fine waistcoat,
Sarah,
sir.
my little girl. She is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
the painter. Yes, everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family.
Nice.
They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof,
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
Is this going to introduce us to our investigative skills? Nice.
what am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture.
Right.
That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
Okay. Your notebook details your current objective. J is for journal. So examine painting, examine file. Right. A strange picture painted by Sarah Hawkins a short while before her tragic death was sent to her father just after the artist died. He is convinced she is the sender. He brought me the painting so I could examine it. Not going to read all of that out because that will take a long time.
What's this symbol on the man's chest? It's as if Sarah Hawkins breathed a message into it.
Oop. Did not mean take out the lighter. And don't know how to put it away. Trying all the buttons. In all honesty, I don't actually know how I hit the mouse wheel. Mouse. Oops, that's the Windows key. No, nothing seems to actually put that away. Oh, there was some other things in this office that I didn't get a chance to look at. I guess I can't set you on fire. That would be awkward.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
Shipping label. Some of it is unreadable, but I can make out part of the address. Warehouse 36. Police report says the fire started in the dining room and claimed the whole family. The police decide on a domestic accident, but they nevertheless insist on Sarah Hawkins' mental frailty. Why? So they put it down as an accident, but they're still saying that she's unsafe. You wouldn't expect to have both of those details. Press cutting, an article written about the marriage of Sarah and Charles Hawkins, a businessman from the Isle of Darkwater. They live a recluse life there with their only son. Thing on the back.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
So we get dialogue trees. That's an unlocked answer.
The meaning could be exactly as it appears. I think your daughter is sending you a message.
That's what I believe, too. It was 3 months ago that I received the call from the police telling me of my daughter's death. And yet a short while after, this painting was delivered to my home. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that.
Right.
She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
Right. So we need to use investigation skills to sort that. Where did she live?
Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
Well, hopefully he can pay well.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out.
So do we get to go there first?
Find Warehouse 36.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I'm aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
Right.
The sender's label mentions warehouse.
That's right.
And you think your daughter...
That is what you go to Darkwater.
I
Right.
think I'm beginning to understand.
I don't.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side.
Quiet down.
Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire.
Yes.
Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Uh-huh.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death.
Give me the cash.
You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right. I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce.
Yep.
I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice.
That is.
Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there.
Clicking the mouse wheel. Does that? Oh, I can look back around the office again. Wonderful.
The Lost Battalion. Holding your position and obeying orders. That isn't courage. I used to be an avid reader.
Used to be.
I used to be an avid reader. The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases.
October. That. The Learning of Medicine Volume 1, a dense work aimed at interns and young practitioners. The first volume lists all the illnesses known in the civilized world. It details the symptoms and suitable treatments. Is there anything that I can do with it? No, apparently not. Oh. But we did learn, I think, the possibility, perhaps, of some kind of progression.
Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it.
The husband never understood that his wife had left him. He kept on calling me weeks after the investigation had been closed. I'm just going to carry that around with me. Look.
Darkwater is off the coast of Boston.
Ah, an
But I've
atlas.
never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times.
Of
at the end
course.
the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then.
Darkwater Island has been inhabited since the 14th century and is still rich with the many memories left by its lost tribes. But don't let the romanticism of these moving evidences of such naive and primitive beliefs fool you into forgetting how violent their gods were. A gigantic creature still ornates the walls of long-abandoned caves. Was it a sea or a dream god? No one knows. But today's inhabitants, the sons and daughters of the proud whale hunters, still remember the mysterious and tumultuous story of their small land off the coast of Massachusetts.
All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater. A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy.
Okay, so the bar owner who hired me didn't like the way I closed this case, but when you're already outside the law, there's not a lot one can do against a private detective who's got proof against you.
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology.
I suspect some of the things that you can interact with will help improve your skills. US is voted dry. What was over here?
I should get rid of all this stuff.
Why? Ugh, daylight. Let's not drink. I suspect there is probably a reason for the drink, and it's most likely tied to the sanity mechanic, however that works. Character point earned. Chapter 2, Darkwater Port. Pierce took the Hawkins case. The cursed artist is accused of having caused the fire that killed her and her family. As the only clue, she left her father a disturbing painting. The shipping label and address, a warehouse set on the docks of the island of Darkwater. The place seems to be the starting point for Pierce's investigation. And we shall start the investigation in episode 2. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. Remember to ring the bell to be notified when new videos go live. And until next time, toodle pip.